Hello and welcome back to the Teacher Trainers channel. My name is Warren Hammond and I don't know if you guys remember, but that previous video of mine, which was how to study IELTS in the best way, that was all about tips and habits. This time around, guys, we are going to be looking at how to ace your writing test. Let's get stuck in. All right, guys, we are going to start off with the first very important thing, which is not understanding how you are marked, basically how you're evaluated. We're going to focus a little bit more on task 1 for these first 4 categories here, and then after that, we'll take a little bit of a deeper look into task 2. Task achievement, task response. Questions to ask yourself. Do you overview? Are you summarizing main data, main trends, main features? Are you actually using the data based off the charts or the graphs or the table bar chart? Are you using this data accurately? Guys, if you are not, please make sure that you're reading a few quality samples. This will really help you to get a better understanding of the overall structure of how they're analyzing this data. You will pick up vocabulary, grammar, your overall structure will become a lot neater. Coherence and cohesion is the next category we're checking out. A few questions once again to ask yourself. Are you clearly organizing your writing from start to finish? Are you using a range of connecting words to make sure your paragraphs and sentences are linked well together? Are you repeating yourself too often, using the same words over and over again? Avoid this. If you are finding that you're struggling with some of these parts, I suggest that you practice connecting paragraphs using the right kind of words to connect one paragraph to the next. This will also help, actually, guys, with the next part. Next up, guys, is lexical resources. This is all about the vocabulary that you use. Questions to ask yourself. Are you using enough vocabulary to describe the task you're looking at? Are you using enough less common vocabulary? This means not daily language, higher level academic words. Are you using the correct word forms? Now, if you're struggling with any of these, remember that there are so many ways to use vocabulary to describe the same thing. Think about words that will help you to describe trends and features that you're looking at in your task. Things like drops or drastically drops. It peaks or has peaked. All of these kinds of words will help you to better describe the task you're looking at. Final part, guys, and probably quite a hard one for a lot of us. Grammar range, how much grammar you know, and accuracy, how well you're using it. Once again, think about these questions. Are you using or do you use simple sentences? Do you use them well? Are they correct? Are you also using complex sentences? And are those correct? Now, if you are struggling and you do have some errors or minor mistakes with these kinds of structures, pinpoint those particular structures, go back and rewrite them as many times as you need to make sure that you're getting those particular either simple sentences or complex sentences correct. So again, make sure you're rewriting them just so you know exactly how they're used depending on the task. Okay, guys, so based on the 4 criteria we looked at, 25% of these averages out to your final score. If you do know the criteria, you can now focus on particular points of weaknesses. If you know that it's lexical resources that you need to really focus on, go and dive into vocabulary, gain a few more words. If you know that it's grammar, same thing. Make sure you're practicing or focusing on particular points. Finally, guys, to leave you with this, the examiners are looking for logical, significant information based on the facts that are laid right there in front of your eyes, specifically for task 1 writing. All right, guys, before we wrap up this task 1 area section, I would like to check out numbers and units. This one confuses a lot of people, but numbers, we'll start off with this one. Sometimes you have rather long numbers to write, and if you think about it, the way we write it is not exactly the same way as we say it. Even though we might say something like this, $1.2 million. We don't say $1.2 million. We say $1.2 million. Remember to put the currency symbol at the front, always at the start. Also, do not use commas, a full stop or period between your point something. So 1.2 million. Remember that? Even though it's backwards, a little bit confusing. The next one, units. Centimeters, millimeters, kilometers, degrees, Celsius or Fahrenheit. All of these come at the end. So again, currency or dollars, pounds, anything like this at the start. For any units, it goes at the end. Remember to label them. Remember to be accurate as well when you are noting them down. If you happen to miss the dollar sign or if you happen to miss the unit symbol, it's going to be inaccurate. Your writing will drop. The score that you get for writing will drop. So keep that in mind, guys. Collocations, the last little tip for your task 1. Collocations. These are words that kind of go together naturally. However, some do not. Some don't really go together very well at all. So if you think about this one, the price of gas plummeted gradually. Plummeted meaning really quickly going down. Gradually means kind of slowly. So these two cannot really go together. Other words like steady fluctuation. Steady means quite, stable. But then fluctuation means going up and down like this. So a steady fluctuation doesn't really make sense. So guys, choose carefully the collocations that you use for your writing. Okie dokie guys, we are coming to the end of the video here, but I'm going to leave you guys with a couple of task 2 tips. Let's start with formal writing. This is an essay. You guys have got 40 minutes to write a bit of an essay here. Remember that it's an essay writing, so have spaces between your paragraphs. Something simple, but many people forget. Remember, formal writing, we do not use contractions. Didn't should be did not. Academic vocabulary. Try to replace some of your lower level words with higher level, less common vocabulary. So things like good. We use this word every day. Good could be excellent, wonderful, amazing. Next up is read the question and instructions carefully. If you know exactly what the question is asking of you, and you also know the criteria, then that means you'll be able to answer it more effectively and correctly. Planning. Planning does help. Even though it seems like a bit of a waste of time for some of you guys, plan out what you're going to write in your intro, your paragraphs 1 and 2, maybe your conclusion there as well. If you are able to grab your ideas and pop them down onto a bit of paper there, you'll be able to better follow your thought process without getting too lost. All right, guys, coming to the end of our video here, task 2 specific tips. So, first and foremost, do remember that task 2 is an essay type writing. You do have to write in a formal kind of way. It is, like we said, it is an essay, so do leave space for your paragraphs. If you don't, it'll look like one big chunk of writing. Do not use contractions. Didn't, couldn't, wouldn't, did not, could not, would not. All right, guys, that is all I have for you for a few of the tips that will help you guys out to nail or ace your writing. I'm going to leave you guys with this last little piece. Remember that if you do use this criteria, and if you're able to follow it, find out your weaknesses, that is going to make you become an independent learner. So check that out, guys. Guys, that is all from me. I hope you all are able to use these tips, take the advice that we've given you, and also let us know if you want a bit more. Comment down below if you have any advice for us. If you want to see a bit more, let us know. To all you teachers out there, happy teaching. Students of the IELTS exam, good luck to you. I am Warren Hammond, signing out from the Teacher Trainers channel.